Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday to everybody. How's everybody doing? Just thought I'd come on here and talk about stuff. Damn it, talk about stuff. I'm here to talk about stuff with you guys. I'm gonna wait till some people get online. I've been thinking, we don't have anybody online yet. No, we've got about 10 people there. I've been thinking of maybe on Friday nights, instead of doing Friday Night Live, of getting on here and talking about the week's headlines. You know, we don't always talk about what we're just about to talk about, like Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. Will they ever perform together again? Will she get on stage with him again? But there's a part of that I've been thinking of maybe possibly getting online and talking to you about the headlines of the week. Things that maybe we don't cover. We don't cover everything. There's a lot of things that we choose not to talk about, like the more gossipy kind of things. But maybe some of those things are worth talking about at least a little bit. You know what I mean? Of going, oh, Rod Stewart and Elton John are talking together. Maybe kind of walking over that kind of stuff a little bit more lightly. Before we get to our topic, Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, I want to say hi to some people. Some people are coming and going, I can see, because they're going, oh, this is not what I tuned in for. Damn you bastards. Big fan. Thanks for everything you do. Thanks, Tucker. Appreciate it. Tucker's always been a favorite name of mine because Mick Tucker of Sweet, the late great drummer of Sweet, I wanted to name my first son Tucker, but that didn't work out with my first wife. And his name was Mark, so there you go. Anyway, big news today before we get to Stevie and Lindsey. Big news today with the Toto thing. Dearly miss him. Yeah, Tucker, you're right. He was an amazing drummer, like really, really good. I'll always say this, Into the Night. Listen to the beginning of that and I remember going, wow, that's some like, it's almost like he was in the Armed Forces or Armed Forces band, the way he learned to play that. Anyway, Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks. This is from a 102.9 MGK Classic Rock. And the question was, as the title states in this video, Stevie Nicks on whether she'll share the stage with Lindsey Buckingham again. The anticlimactic answer is probably not. And you kind of understand that. But I'm going to paraphrase some of this article. Well, let me just read it. When asked about questions she received about the band, Nick said, do you get along? We'd go, and she's talking for the band, not really. They'd go, are you friends? And we'd go, not really. Do you see each other when you're not on tour? No. It's been that way since 1976. Of course it is that way. Some bands who don't have that kind of drama in their in the group, they don't see each other. Like they don't really necessarily hang together. As a lot of you know that I've covered Toto an awful lot on this channel, covered Yes an awful lot. Well, those guys really, there's a lot. Oh man, Yes, they're an interesting group. I love Yes. You know, I've been enjoying as an adult getting to know their music on a deeper level now that my ears are bigger, literally, because I'm 60. I got the old man ears. But your taste in music, sort of is nurtured on a higher level, I think. But anyway, so not surprising that she would say that about the band. Why would they? They've been together for so many years and they've worked together and been in the trenches together. I don't know why people hate it when I say this, but I get along with my ex-wife, Lynn. And people really hate it when they hear, I don't know why it seems to bother some people when I say I'm friends with a lot of my exes. I don't know why it seems to irk people. I'm going, but it is what it is. You know, I have one ex who I've never talked to. All the other ones I could phone up any day and we'd say, hey, what's going on? But anyway, in Fleetwood Mac, they were exes and they still decided to work together, right, with the Rumors album. And some people, a few people told me to do a story on this. I decided not to do a story and just to get on live and talk about, realistically, come on. I get along with my ex-wife. I'm not going to go on a road trip with her anytime. Not because I don't like her. It's because she's my ex. That's not what I do. That's not going to happen. My ex-girlfriends that I'm friends with, I'm not going to go on a road trip with any of them. And a lot of my older friends, I probably wouldn't either. It's just something I just wouldn't do. So Fleetwood Mac are touring together. They're forced to do this. It's their job. Danica, can you let the dogs out, honey? Let dogs out. Thank you. I know that's my autistic daughter. That's why I always have to say she's autistic, because she makes noise. Right, Danica? Right? You making noise? That's okay. She's on her iPad. That's how she communicates with us. So it's no big surprise that she would say that. And I will say one thing about this. She's just being honest. I mean, really. They don't hang around when they're not on tour. Most bands don't. It's rare. Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson would, but they have a bond that's really, really rare. You don't see that in a lot of bands. The fact that they would like hang out together a little bit, even if it's more musical, that's still a nice thing that they would do that. But it's rare. You know, I say this story a lot on this channel when people say, why don't you put your whole interviews up, an hour and a half of the interviews? And I always say, well, that's nice. I wish I had more people like you, but you are rare. Someone who would listen to an hour and a half interview out of their time, who even had the time to listen to an hour and a half interview. There are things that are just rare, and you know, getting along with your ex and wanting to be in a band with your ex, that doesn't happen an awful lot. So, are you surprised? I just went over this on my iPad really, really quickly, and I saw this, and I'm going, we should talk about that. You know, Lindsey Buckingham will probably never be in Fleetwood Mac again. I'm looking forward to his solo stuff whenever we get back to this. So when are we going to get back to this? Like in 2022? When's concert going to start? Toto announced their concert dates this morning. I hope we get back to it in that span of time. Anybody who wants to talk, please talk. This is the first live broadcast I've had where I've only basically talked to two people. This has never happened. People, it must be a slow time of the day. It's 4:25 here. We're on Mountain Time. But anyway, feel free to ask some questions about what's going on in rock and roll. We enjoy doing the live broadcast. I just don't feel like doing it all the time. We enjoy getting on here and answering your questions and talking about things that are happening in rock and roll. But I have to admit, I don't necessarily usually feel like if it's at the same time every single day, I couldn't do it. I'd go, I don't feel like doing this today. That's just that's not what I'm about today, to talk on a screen every single day or every Friday at 7, which is what we used to do. Anyway, I think we're going to roll because we don't have a lot of people on here wanting to chat. This is favorite Fleetwood Mac album. That's Tucker again. Tucker, you saved my life today. You've been like the only one. Rocket, how are you today? Caniac? Is that what that is? I can't. It's so small on my using my iPhone for this. Favorite Fleetwood Mac albums? It's Rumors. I hate to go with what everyone else says. And I always have this thing of going, what do I like more? Is it Hotel California because it's the same era, or is it Fleetwood Mac Rumors? And it goes back and forth, but it's Fleetwood Mac. Favorite Peter Green Fleetwood Mac album? I wasn't a fan of Peter Green's stuff enough to go back to the older albums to give you a whole album. Tucker, Mystery to Me. Yeah, I remember Mystery to Me, yeah. There was, in high school, we went back and listened to the Peter Green stuff. And it wasn't my kind of stuff, but the reason I say that, because in high school I was not mature enough to appreciate early rock and roll. Hello, love your channel. Geddy Costello. Is that like Geddy Lee and Elvis Costello? Is that like a combination of those names? Because those are very different artists. Very, and in some levels, a little eclectic. My dog's looking out the window right now. I don't want to flip the channel. Yeah, my nickname. Yeah, is that right? Oh, cool. I once met a man at a party. I've said this on this live stream before. We went to this party, and we later found out that the hostess of the party killed the host. I think it was Vancouver, and I went to that party with my ex-wife and her husband, Chris. But I was at that party, and I remember looking across the table, and I actually thought it was Geddy Lee. And I said, oh, my God. And he says, I know, I look like Geddy Lee. I didn't go to see them live without Lindsey last time on purpose. Was turned off. Yeah. We got, I think, Ask Me Tomorrow, I'll say second row tickets. I don't know, first 15 row tickets in Vancouver when Shannon and I lived in Vancouver. And the concert was canceled. And they later blamed it on, I think, Lindsey, Stevie Nicks. I don't know if it's true, though it means nothing. Keep up the great interviews, especially Joe Bouchard. We're finished with Joe, by the way. Anyone listen to the Time album? Oh yeah, that was with a really different lineup. Joe Bouchard's done. Albert Bouchard was scheduled last week, but they were doing renovations on our kitchen. We had to cancel it. I really enjoyed your interviews with the Fisher brothers from Heart. Yes, and a lot of people gave them help because they were eating, but it's because something was going on in their house. As far as I can remember, I did a lot of interviews that week, and they wanted to do it in a restaurant or their car. So I think Roger was driving, and eventually I said, guys, I can't do an interview in the car. I don't, and they ended up going into a restaurant. Mac is dead now. Well, yeah, depends. It always depends. If your favorite part of Fleetwood Mac was Lindsey Buckingham, which was my favorite part, would I pay hundreds of dollars to see them? I would. If I was given free tickets, I would go. But yeah, I don't know. I'd pay to see Lindsey Buckingham because I love him so much. When I was talking to Rick Emmett of Triumph, I asked him, when Lindsey Buckingham does Big Love and he does that picking, I'd go for free too, Michael Fried. I asked, I'm working on Rick Emmett right now on another part we'll put up before the end of the day. And he said, yeah, he's really good. And he explained what he does with Big Love a little bit. I'll pay not to see Buckingham. Okay, well, you're not a fan. Everyone is right when it comes to music. I mean, now and then people will say things that I think are, and we'll erase those comments. If it's just ridiculous, like if it's someone who's just trying to get a rise out of people, we'll erase those comments. Or someone, what is it? Who's the guy, the comedian? Only will pay to see Lindsey back. Any news on his recovery? He's doing a lot better. He can sing, not 100%, but he sounds like Lindsey Buckingham. And after that, I can understand. We thought that his vocal cords would be disturbed. I did an interview yesterday with a gentleman who got he had some things growing around his vocal box, and I was under the understanding that he lost everything there, and that's why he sounded like this. His name is John Cody. Look him up on Spotify. He's an amazing artist. And it turns out that they just scraped crap off his vocal cords, and he sounded like a frog for a little while. And now he can't sing like he used to, not like Lindsey came back and sang, but he talks almost completely normal. And for the longest time, he couldn't talk normal. And like I told myself, John, I can't believe I can still. Danica, can you turn off the fireplace, honey? It's really, really hot in here. He's just second-hand news. Ha, ha, ha. The top one? No, the top one. Thank you. No, that's good. No, can you, Danica, sweetheart, turn off the bottom one, honey? Turn off the bottom one. I can't get up here. There's no room. The bottom. No, the bottom one. This one. Yeah, turn it off. Thank you. We're done. She's a sweetheart. She's nonverbal. She doesn't speak. But she's very high functioning. She knows, she had trouble with that, but autism comes out in different ways. So someone came up with a beautiful girl. Thank you, Terry. I always have to acknowledge her in my videos because she's not in her day program these days because of the fact that autistic kids touch their hands all the time. And she goes, that's the only thing that she does. She coughs like this, not just because of COVID, but she always did. She's, to be really blunt, when she has her period, she knows what to do. She does everything by herself, but she does this. It's her only bad habit. And we thought to ourselves, with my wife having an autoimmune disease, there's no way we could let our autistic daughter come in and bring, bring COVID into our house. Shannon could die. So we're being very careful. Thank you, Danica. You're rocking it? Yeah. So we have a dog sleeping there and a dog sleeping over here. Hold on a second. Since this is not plugged in, I can show you. Okay, where's Rudy? There's Rudy. Hi, Rudy. Rudy, hi. You are the cutest dog. And then our Havanese is over here. There's Danica. Hi, Danica. Anyway, the first dog is a Cockapoo. Cocker Spaniel and 3 parts Poodle. Hi, Rudy. Yeah, Rudy's a little, he loves being on camera. But what do you think about the Fleetwood Mac thing? What do you think about that? A few of my friends, to rephrase what I said a while ago, a few of my friends said, oh my God, you've got to do a story on this. How can she say that they don't get along? Oh, they're a bunch of crazy people. Well, they're not. Cockapoo, yeah. A Cocker Spaniel and 3 parts poodle. Yeah, that's what a cockapoo is. I don't like saying that name out loud. It's not exactly a name of a dog that I like to say out loud, but he doesn't look like any of his brothers. Most of his brothers look like a Havanese. Love it. And that's just the way it was. But we saw him at a store, and we didn't want to. We wanted to get a. We can't get a rescue dog because we don't know where it's been because of Danica. Because Danica will take the dog and just throw it off the couch. No, not Cockapoo. Cocker Spaniel. I don't know if you're trying to be funny with me, but yeah. Anyway, beautiful dogs. Yeah, beautiful dog. Well, I'm on the spectrum myself. Prog music is a special subject. Oh, is that right? You know, Chase used to play with a guy who never told us he was on the spectrum, but he was definitely on the spectrum. What do you think about the recent rise of Fleetwood Mac's popularity due to TikTok? I saw those videos. Was he on a skateboard, the first guy? And then Mick Fleetwood got on there. It's like, sounds like what I do after a wet burrito. Oh, cockapoo. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Steam Market Sweep. Oh, that's a news app. I thought it was someone talking to me. I get mixed up sometimes. You know, when Eddie Van Halen passed away, we did a video after the first announcement. The announcement got, I think, 475,000 hits. It's the biggest video we've ever done. We've had a lot of videos with the Yes people. Randy Meisner got one of his videos got, I think, 300,000 or 250,000. I'm not sure. Hey there. Hi, Sonia Flowers. Great singer you are, Sonia. And we did a live video, and we got 400 subscribers from our live video after Eddie passed away. I couldn't believe it. I've never had, I think the most we've got subscriber-wise, the most we ever had, and that's usually when Shannon's around, because people seem to like Shannon a lot because she's cute. I'd like to see Buckingham and Nick's perform there first. Oh my, Philip, you're so not alone there. A lot of people would like to see that, and I would never completely close the door to that. I think the only way that would happen is if we'd lose Mick or something, and there wouldn't be a Fleetwood Mac. Let's be honest, it could be huge money for Mac. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're needing the money, though. That's the problem. A lot of people tour. Remember Steve Porcaro told us maybe 4 years ago, our first interview with that album was amazing, yeah. That, he says, we tour to keep our stuff. That's why we tour. We tour because we don't want to lose our house. We don't want to lose our equipment. You know, so many people are selling their equipment. Most of the people who sold their equipment during COVID, I wasn't that familiar with them. They were more of the sort of the metal thing. Danica, you gonna come say hi? Sit down, say hi. Say hi. She wears headphones because she's noise sensitive. You want to go to the bathroom? Where are you going? Oh, okay. She always leaves the door open. Hi, Danica. Hi, Sonia. Thank you. She is, like I said, not in her day program. Hi, Danica. Everyone's spelling Danica right. Sometimes with a K. Big question. Would you rather see Buckingham and Nick's first album or them play Small Creeps Day? Small Creeps Day. Oh, I'm the minority. Small Creeps Day, for anyone who doesn't know, is Mike Rutherford's first solo album. I'm a huge fan. One of my top 3 albums of all time. I remember some people were telling us their biggest albums a few live streams ago, and people were criticizing the other people, going, well, you either like what you like. You can't criticize someone for their top 3 album. It's what they like. Maybe they haven't been exposed to as much as you, or maybe they've been exposed to more and they've come full circle, or that's just what they like. Everyone is right when it comes to music, unless Justin Bieber. No, I'm just joking. You can like Justin Bieber. See him on Saturday Night Live. A little pretentious when he was in the dressing room. Any chance we ever get to Mike Rutherford interview for Small Creeps? I've tried, not lately. For anyone who may not be familiar, Mike Rutherford is Genesis' guitar player. One of my favorites, Rupert Hines solo. I don't know if I heard that. I don't know if I. When was that released? Oh, I know what you mean. Yes, yes, yes. It's coming back to me now. There's a lot of stuff, by the way, that I have not gotten to. I'm like I said at the earlier part of this, we were talking about Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. When Peter passed away, yeah, the first of the trilogy. When Peter Green passed away, I started going back to some of the old Fleetwood Mac, something I'd done in high school, but wasn't really ready for it. Stevie Nicks didn't block. Well, I didn't. I missed that. Sorry. Oh, it's Peter Kearns. It's Peter Kearns. Peter, we just interviewed. We put a video up on Saturday. It's a two-parter, and he just wrote a book on 10cc. An amazing book on 10cc. Peter is one of those encyclopedic minds. He wrote a book on Elton John. Look up Peter Kearns, Elton John, and you'll find the books. They're very affordable, and Peter's the man. He's an amazing writer, and he's just finished. I think, Peter, you're finished, right? The Joni Mitchell books. And nice to see you again, DM. Nice to see you. There you go. So look up Peter Kearns, Kearns, Elton John, or 10cc. Yes. Oh, he's finished. He just said. And his Joni Mitchell book. Peter, I want a hard copy of that one. I'd love a hard copy of that one. I'll talk to your publisher of the Joni Mitchell one. Big Joni Mitchell fan. And the guy, thanks, John. You're a champ. Thanks, Peter. Always a rock classics. Are you asking me a question? I can get you one. Thank you. I talked to John Cody yesterday, who actually knows Joni Mitchell, for an interview with him. The guy who lost his voice for so many, for over a year, 2 years. I missed whatever came up about Genesis. I missed that. It's hard when we've got a lot of people. We've got 62 people on here right now. And it's hard to answer a question and get to. I met Peter Gabriel backstage, the Bulls locker room in Chicago Stadium on the Growing Up tour. Really? Wow. Never met him, never interviewed him. John Toto tour. I would go see the Toto tour. I was going to text Luke today, see what's going on, see if I get an interview going. We've been trying to get to Joseph Williams. I have never interviewed Joseph Williams of Toto. Oh, by the way, we're on this is supposed to be on Fleetwood Mac. I've never interviewed, have I? No, I've never interviewed, I have an interview with Bob Welsh downstairs that I did not do. And Bob's has left the earth as well. But I've never interviewed anybody from Fleetwood Mac. Toto and Marillion concerts announced today. Oh, is that right? Marillion too? I don't really cover Marillion a lot. I think I've done one video. And there's so many stories that come up every single day. And usually I'm in the middle, like right now I'm in the middle of, I think I've got 3 more Rick Emmets left. And we're going to put them up. And then we're going to put the entire interview up. Because a lot of people have been asking us to do that. Have you ever interviewed Robert Fripp? No, I'd love to. And he's got a little extra time on his hands right now. I see the videos with him and his partner. She's cute. She's talented. But I'd love to. Joni Mitchell has a lot of good music. Yeah. And we were, Peter Kearns and I were talking about this. Check out Peter Kearns from a few days ago on this channel. In the last part of the interview, we talk about Joni Mitchell for about 10 minutes. Rick Emmett is amazing. Truly is. And Joni had many different styles in her. Marillion is incredible. P.S. John, Canada rocks. April Wine, Rush, Honeymoon Suite. I've interviewed everyone there but Bryan Adams. Interviewed April Wine. Lost My Miles Goodwin, but it's in the house someplace. Love Joni. Love Mifro? I'll try to announce your username if I can. If the message is long, sometimes I got to get to the message. There's a lot of them. Love April Wine. Kim Mitchell interview would be a nice Canadian touch. I did the Canadian. I've done a Kim Mitchell. The whole interview is finished. And I'm getting bombarded. Recently watched some videos of Jaco Pastorius. We talked to what's his name? Oh, it'll come to me, about Jaco Pastorius, someone I used to work with when I worked in smooth jazz and jazz radio when I left rock and roll. Is there bad blood between some members of Toto? Maybe. I didn't hear from them. I mean, Luke made that announcement after I put up that video with Steve Porcaro. And so that's something that's not about me. It's I'm not sure what's going on between them. As far as I know, they haven't talked to each other in a while. as far as Shem, who is a hired hand, I don't think Shem had talked to them in a bit. He was talking to Joseph Williams a little bit. And Shem was not included in the new lineup, but Steve Porcaro brought Shem in, so maybe that has something to do with it. And maybe Joseph Williams and Steve Lukather, want to play with some different players. Maybe they just want to spice it up a little bit. And I can't say that I blame them for that, even though I would have loved to have Shem back in the fold. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, that Jaco Pastorius documentary was excellent. But what if you interviewed Roger Fisher of Heart? Yeah, it was me that did that in a restaurant. Notice after the first clip, I had to buy the Jim Jameson Kimball CD. I don't have that one. Brian Bromberg's the guy, by the way. Look up Brian Bromberg, Jaco Pastorius, and Rock History Music together, and you'll find the Brian Bromberg. Brian got a chance to hang out with Jaco Pastorius a little bit. It's always nice to have someone who actually knew them. And they'll always get skeptics on our channel who say, oh, yeah, I doubt if he knew him. Come on, like Brian Bromberg, who's one of the best bass players on the earth, is not going to lie about knowing Jaco Pastorius. A lot of people can basically back up his story. But anyway, it's just, I'll get that every time. It's like the Bruford interview that I did. There were some people, and I'm convinced, I kind of know who started that, someone from another channel. Said, oh, that doesn't sound like Bill Bruford. Well, come on. Yeah, like I talked to John Anderson. I talked to a few members of Yes. It's like, I'm not going to make up an interview. Come on. Who does that? Yeah, Heart is a revolving door. It was. Chase upstairs, my drummer's son, has Ben Smith. Is that his name? Ben Smith? Chase, is his name Ben Smith? What? Heart's drummer, it's Ben Smith, right? Yeah. Yeah, he has his drumsticks upstairs. He gave them to Chase after a clinic. Real nice guy. And he basically said during the clinic that the Hart sisters, the Wilson sisters, don't want any drama in the band. Who knows who is even in Heart anymore? Well, though. And Nancy Wilson, they have to be. Small Creep sequel, acting very strange, is surprisingly starting to grow on me. It did not for me. I didn't hate the album, but I didn't like it at all. It was such a departure. And him singing that kind of electronic voicey thing. I love Bill Bruford. Yeah, listen to the interview on our channel. It's great interview. He didn't want to come on camera, even though he has come on camera a few times. But he was very blunt. We talked about Neil Peart, and we talked about not drumming anymore. I talked to Alan White before that. I talked to Steve Howe's son, Dylan. That was a great interview. There's always drama behind in a band. Every band. It doesn't matter who it is. Honeymoon just dropped a single. Always keep their gripe. We interviewed Derry Grimm from Honeymoon Suite. It's on this channel. It's also on the Canadian channel. Go into Rock History Canada. I know I say Canada like an American. Canada. But that's just the way I say it. Yeah, so we're gonna put another interview. And we actually interviewed Derry's daughter. Nice Day Get Ignored. Who's that? Honeymoon Suite? Did you finally get a chance to interview Mike Rutherford? No, I haven't tried. If anybody knows the publicist to Mike Rutherford, I'd be glad to. I've never interviewed the final three. I really like the Jerry Marotti interview. Yeah, he was very blunt and honest, and he got criticized for being mad at Peter Gabriel, but he's allowed. No one knows what he went through, and he's allowed to say how he feels. Oh yeah, Boone Gould last year, great guitarist. We've got, who is it? It's not my interview. I'm trying to think of who it was. It wasn't Mark King. We've got an interview with one or two members of Level 42 from the Something About You stage. I'm trying to think of who it was. It wasn't Mark. I wanted it to be Mark because I was given some interviews from a friend of mine named Steve Burgess, but they're really muddy and they need to be baked. And I'm so busy with my own interviews, it takes a long time. Oh yeah, that's Mike Linda. Yeah, that's who it is. And he sings, so it's good that he's the secondary singer in that band. So I don't know if I've ever heard it. Gabriel is brilliant, but didn't fit in with the Genesis. Paula Cole sang. I remember Paula Cole singing. Peter. By the way, Simon Phillips' interview about Small Creek was, that was amazing. What he's referring to is there's a song called Out Into the Daylight from Mike Rutherford of Genesis solo album, his first solo album called Out Into the Daylight. And I was mentioning that to Simon Phillips, the drummer who drums on that. It's been a long time though, because he recorded that in 79, came out in 80. And I told him about it, and Simon says, well, I don't remember that one by name. So what he does is he looks it up and he listens to it on camera. It's gold. And the only reason we were able to monetize that is because for whatever reason, Small Creep Stay by Mike Rutherford is not being monetized, or it didn't take away my monetization. It might later on. But it's really cool hearing Simon Phillips remember and listening to himself drum. It was like an amazing moment. It was like John J.R. Robinson a few days ago doing Higher Love on drums. You know, the beginning of Higher Love, he does it in front of me. And that was amazing. Can you believe Shot in the Dark, the new reunited AC/DC track? I was surprised it was so strong. Yeah, a lot of those old bands still got it. Do you think Alex will work together again? Yes, I do. A lot of people call me the eternal optimist for this kind of stuff, but they kind of want to. And don't we want them to? It's not like, oh, they've given us enough. Well, yeah, but they'll decide that, you know. If they want to work together and do something again, by the way, anybody watching, listen, this is not our usual gig. It's not that I'm downplaying this, but we have a lot of interviews on our channel. Please subscribe. We do so many interviews, a lot coming up. The boys from Klaatu coming up. They're not boys anymore. This week, I didn't think I could get it, but Peter Kearns helped me with that. Getty will work with Mike Portnoy. Everyone, when I put that story up a year and a half ago, everyone said Mike Portnoy. Not everyone, but let's just say like 80% of people wanted that to happen. He was the guy. Most people said Mike Portnoy. And that would be nice. And I think they'd be open to that too. Who knows? They need to get that kind of drummer. That's Danica. Hear that? She's playing my autistic daughter. She's playing her game. Have you a nice meeting, sir? Have you? Oh, I have to go. Oh, nice meeting you too. Please subscribe to our channel, people. I would really appreciate it. We were hoping to get to 100,000 by the end of the year, but we could if we spent money on the channel, but we've never paid for hits on this channel. And we've never paid for advertising, but soon you may see, hey, I'm John Beaudin, join my channel. Stevie Nicks say there wouldn't be no Fleetwood Mac if she got her abortion. I just read that. Yeah, I just read that. I chose not to go with that headline, but like I said, on Friday nights, I was thinking maybe I'm going to still go crazy. Travel restrictions. Yeah, DM. Come and hang out with us. The majority of our listenership on this channel, because of the content that we carry, is from the United States and Europe. We don't have a lot of viewership in Canada. We don't. That's why we started Rock History Canada, the other channel, because a lot of the rock interviews that we have are from, ding, subscribe. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. Are from Canadian artists that have not crossed over and they don't do well. I'm from Canada. Hey, awesome. Klaatu, yeah. See how that goes. They seem like interesting guys. At the very least, it's going to be a very interesting interview. Discovered your channel. Thank you. Subscribed and love it. Thanks for the hard work. Thank you very much. My son is editing John J.R. Robinson right now. He cut up the interview, and now he's putting up the thing. Hi, I'm John Beaudin. Here's part 4 of our John J.R. Robinson. He's put North Carolina here. Never been. For me, it's mostly, I'm from Rio, Brazil. Thanks for your work. Wow. Never visited. I've never left the continent. It's pretty sad. I've visited most of my traveling has been done in the US as a Canadian boy, living in Vancouver for the longest time. I'm in Calgary now. We came here for autism funding. Alex Van Halen's not going to retire. I don't think so. No. Good question, though. So I've traveled the west of the US an awful lot in my car. Sass Jordan is the baddest Canadian female rock vocalist. Yeah, I'd like to interview her. I had such a crush on her before. I know she's more than looks. Thank you, DM, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Kirkland Lake, Ontario, just subscribed. Thank you, Paul. I don't know if I've been there. Cape Breton, COVID free here. Hey, thanks, Mabai. Cape Breton. I had a friend who was from Cape Breton. John Scott. He was my best friend growing up. He moved to Miramichi, where I grew up in northeast New Brunswick, and he would come up with these sayings from Cape Breton. It's funny how it always takes two guitar players to replace Lindsey. I know. Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington. I've been in Vancouver, Washington when I lived in Vancouver, BC. We used to travel all over Washington to get to know it. Hi, love your channel. Sub, thank you, from Michigan. Mark is an old friend of mine. Mark who? Mark King? Are you talking about Mark King? Please tell me you're talking about Mark King, and you'll get me a Mark King interview. It'll be great. I loved, he's such a great bass player. I saw Level 42 opening up for Steve Winwood. Hydra folks, not Alex playing anyone but his brother Ed ever. I don't know about that. Because he's dead now. Is the Space Needle in Canada? No, Space Needle is in Seattle. Say hello to Los Angeles. Mark from Cape Breton, sorry. Oh, I thought you meant Mark King of Level 42. This is so much fun just talking. I was just getting bored. Play, sing, and chew gum, Mark King. Yeah, he's you got to be wired differently to do what he does. Hello, I missed the last one. Parent. I like when you tell me where you're from. I like that. Have you ever interviewed Doug Pinnick? No, never have. I really like hoping you would do a live stream. Thanks, DM. Appreciate it. We like doing live streams. Shannon likes it, but she always worries about Danica. I've never been to Alaska, no. California farm country. Right on, Trenton. Hi, Freebird. Are you a Leonard Skinner fan? Lead guitar. Is Wolfgang? Is he that good of a lead guitar? Edmonton. Oh, I lived in Edmonton for 10 years. I worked at K-Lite in Edmonton, 96, whatever 96 is now. They're not K-Lite anymore. Worked with Len Tucson in Edmonton. I started my career there. I was lucky to start in major market. There's a Mark Point. I missed that. Someone laughed. Eddie Quoter saying that Wolfgang could do anything. Oh, really? Yeah, but that's also his dad saying that. So, but I think he'd be honest about that. Would people be open to that? Because there was a lot of flack about Glenn Fry's son joining the Eagles, of going, he's just a prop. And you're going to get that. When people were saying, oh, the Beatles' sons, let's all get, John's two sons, Julian and Sean, and getting Danny Harrison, Harold Bourgeois. I'm from Inverness. Oh, right on. If anybody carry is on Wolf, Alex. I don't know if they'll do anything from Van Halen. Parent. Rick Beato is an amazing, but he doesn't really do what I do. He does some interviews, and he's very successful. But he's a musician. I'm a drummer, but I'm not even the drummer he is. So I don't really do that. For me, I look at it from a broadcaster's point of view. I do my channel I've been in radio 37 years, over 37 years now. Well, if Wolf, yeah, it'd be great to see him do something. I think the fans would want it, and then half of the fans would hate it. That's what's going to happen. Oh, Wichita, Kansas. As falls Wichita, so falls Wichita Falls. Pat Metheny. I went away from, I was in AC radio, then I started syndicating a rock show in Canada, across the country. A few US stations bought it. Drummer also, thank you. And then I veered off into new age music, the NAC format, the wave. And then, I'm getting a lot of people here. I can't keep up. Awesome Metheny album, by the way. Yes. Remember they had, it wasn't his version of Amazing Grace, Estupenda Grasa on there. I think that's how you say it. I think that was the album. Yeah. His vocalist, I was just playing him yesterday. What's his new vocalist? He's a Brazilian. He was on the Narada label. Some of you must know that, because I know a lot of you guys are deep in music. It'll come to me. His name is Nando Loria. Nando Loria is Brazilian. He toured with Pat Metheny the last few years. Great guitar player. Look him up on Spotify. Oh my God, like crazy. To the some great best musicians. Yeah. I got to know a few of the Narada. Michael Walden, by the way, didn't come through. I'm still not convinced I'm not on the naughty list for Journey. I don't know. And I almost feel that way for Bruce Hornsby. For whatever reason, they'll always send me the album early. I got Bruce Hornsby's album 2 months before. I've got enough subscribers. He talks to Colin Hayno. Very familiar with his work, though. Craig Chiquiso from Starship was on Narada. Was it Narada?
Police officer.
Yeah, I guess it was. I don't remember. Was it Narada? Danica, you can't have my Chaser. Can you give Danica the phone, please? Or you can take Daddy's iPad. Thank you. She goes on the Barney videos. Yeah, you can do it. You want me to start it for you? My autistic daughter goes, what do you say about Journey to get on the... okay, you want to hear something? Okay, hold on. I got to give my daughter the... Here, you can do it. She has Barney video. So, for whatever reason, I'm on the... I was going to interview someone from Journey and did, not Jonathan Cain, someone else. We did the interview, and then it was next after it was done. Because the first video I released was, did you deal with any drama in Journey? And the person I did the interview with called me and said, you got to take it down. And I went, oh my God, I just spent a whole week putting this whole package together. The entire series is done. But I basically took it down. And so and then since that time, I think that either Jonathan Cain or Neil Sean put me on the naughty list of Journey. I can live. I'm not saying and then I had an interview with Narada Michael Walden, and it was canceled. Like he never had time to do it. So there's a possibility I'm on, and nothing against, not Steve Smith, Narada Michael Walden, or someone said people call him Narada Michael. So I'm not sure what happened. And I remember going, again? What the heck? Seriously? Don't you want to be friends? Not that you guys Journey need me, but like what happened? And then Bruce Hornsby, same thing. I'm going, I don't know why I can't seem to get, I've interviewed Bruce twice. Great interviews. I don't really do well with Bruce Hornsby on my channel because Ansley Dunbar never have, great drummer. But for whatever reasons, things like that happen, and I go, well, I don't think this is an accident.
But I basically took it down.
Okay, then. That was my... Sometimes when you press your Apple Watch, it listens to you. So there. My dog's having a party of one over here. Just rocking it old school. Whoa. I'm pretty not hard to get on there, naughty. I know. It is... Hi, Sonia. Man, I was impressed by your singing. I trolled you a little bit when we first got to know each other a little bit because we were friends on Facebook. So I always check out people. And I knew you were a singer, but I didn't know you could sing like that. Daniel Lanois, no, but I have an interview with him downstairs that I inherited. It was around the time when you released that solo album. Journey should have their name Drama, yeah. I'd like to interview Dean. I'd like to interview Dean because he's a great singer and he's a great drummer and he seems to not suffer fools. He's gotten into trouble a little bit with his personal life. But anyway, I would love to. And there's a few artists lately that I've just been too busy to interview. I've just been swamped. And after a while, if I look at a week coming up and I don't have interviews, there's a part of me that goes, oh, good. Okay, so I can just edit. Because we just hired a writer. Simon Phillips is my favorite drummer, Jack Hammer. Starcastle. Oh, Starcastle keeps coming up. I'm going to sit up here. You know, I wear these kind of stretchy pants all day. Any of you guys do that since the pandemic? I'm wearing stretchy pants all day. So even when I'm wearing my bright shirts, which I haven't done in a while because I'm just trying to change it up a little bit, I'm wearing stretchy pants underneath. At least I'm not wearing pajamas, but they look like pajamas. So that's what, hi Danica. So that's what So I think we're going to wind things down a little bit. Any questions? Simon Phillips, MSG album. I was going to interview Simon again, by the way. I thought of doing it, but sometimes a little too much of one artist is just a little too much, right? I've noticed that with some artists that if I talk to them for 2 hours. Have you talked to Bob? I don't know who that is, out of Hamilton's, it's gone now. Was my nickname, Stretchy Pants. Oh, thanks, DM. I appreciate that. Oh, okay, come here. He wants to play. Can you imagine a post-pandemic concerts there will be? What it'll be like, I don't know. I'm not gonna go to any concerts anytime soon because Shannon, my wife, has an autoimmune disease, and if that is brought into this house, it would be catastrophic for a few of us here. Danica's on, because of her autism, she's on epileptic meds. Her immune system is compromised. We're in the apocalypse. DM, yeah. Yeah, well, maybe we are. I don't know. It's hard to say where we're all going to be. I miss Molly Hatchet, 1981. I'm flirting with disaster, y'all. Stay safe, you too. Appreciate it. Do you ever interview John Densmore? I'd like to interview. There's only 2 of them left. You know, Robbie and John. I mean, I'd like to. I don't have a connection with the Doors. One of the publicity company I'm working with is very involved with the Laurel Canyon kind of people. Quite a bit of them. Who do I have coming up? Trying to think of. There's another one coming up. Oh, I can't believe I've forgotten who it is. It's not JD. It's I've got so many. You have to understand when you do a channel like this. We were looking for music heroes, and it's depressing. A lot of them are going. Lindsey, Buckingham. Yeah, your Jerry Beckley interview was spectacular. Jerry Beckley and I got along really well. It's rare that you talk to someone, J.R. Robinson and I, just click, 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 click. It was really easy. But it's all personalities, right? You'd never know. Most are dead. Crosby is a nut. Crosby's got some issues. Yeah, Crosby's got... Hi, little doggy. Come on up. Come here. Come here. Come here. I want to bring him up. He won't let me grab him. Come here. Come here. Oh my God. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Everyone wants to see you. They want. Oh, he's such a rat. Someone just sent me an album. I'm trying to take that out. Come on. Come here. You got to see this dog. Okay, here he goes. Look at this guy. He's just a little troublemaker. Hello, Rudy. Hi. What are you doing? You're crazy. You need an Ativan. You got some mental issues? Oh, it's me, he says. I'm the one that needs an Ativan. Sorry, I missed some of them there. Yeah, David Crosby, what he said about David Lee Roth, that wasn't needed. And believe it or not, though, and you guys, none of you who are watching me right now are young, right? Most of you guys, you're kind of adults, right? You know that. Now and then we feel like kids again. But let me tell you, person to person, some of the comments that I had to erase when Eddie Van Halen died were not just comments about Eddie Van Halen. They were about the fact that people resented him or they're just dorks. And you don't say something about someone the day they died. I've had a few people that I've dealt with in my life, and now and then I think about me doing an obituary for them, and I think of going, that guy was kind of a dick in the interview. But I think about it. Inside voice. I imagine doing the interview going, that guy was a dick to me, but I wouldn't do that. I'm thinking about it. I'm exercising it in my own brain. I'm not sharing it with anybody. And if everyone knew everybody else's thoughts, maybe we'd have less friends. But what you choose to use on your outside voice or type in anonymously on a YouTube channel when someone dies, Eddie Van Halen kind of gave his part. Yeah, everyone was talking about his smoking. He made that decision. Or was partly addicted, all the above, whatever. But it was a decision that he made, and a lot of people were minority. We're saying things, good manners never go out of style. Trenton, thank you. B squared, it's called being kind. Yeah, someone is bad. It's bad form, thank you. Not with the day they died. There was a thing, Rick Emmett gave me this really funny story about Pete Way. Terry Bozzio would be a great interview. I actually met him. I was at one of his drum clinics and I met him. And I asked him several questions. My son's a huge fan. It took him like 45 minutes to set up his drum kit. I got to share that picture. I was saying something, I forgot what it was. Bottom line is Van Halen, Semi sings Down Under the Table, It's Not Close. Steve Gadd I've already interviewed. Believe it or not, I interviewed Steve Gadd for that album he did with the Gaddabouts with Edie Brickell. And I don't know why, it was just a bad interview. Nothing to do with Steve Gadd, everything to do with me. I don't know what, I was in bad form. I was asking him questions like, okay, what do people ask you about the most? That's like, do your research. Like I didn't know Steve. I knew Steve Gadd and that solo with Steely Dan solo, and what's her name? Chucky's in Love Girl. What's her name? Come on, give me something. Ricky Lee Jones. This hasn't come up yet, so I saved my own ass. Ricky Lee Jones and 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. My son was in a drum clinic with Dave Weckl, and they let him in when he was, I think, 12. You had to be 16, but then we sent Dave Weckl a video, and he let Chase come in, even though he wasn't 16, because Chase is a really good little drummer. And Chase played 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, and Dave Weckl told Chase, yeah, I actually toured with Paul Simon, and I've done that many times. Nice going. I miss that. I usually stay on here for an hour, and hey, I've gotten $5.20 of donations. Thank you very much. She should just, for one song, what? She should just what? Are you talking Stevie Nicks? I interviewed Joey Mullen, a bad finger. I just interviewed him. You know why I haven't put out part 2? Because I have to transcribe the entire interview. And I used to run a rock site and a jazz site, and we transcribe all interviews. My own fault. Shouldn't have done it, but Joey was great. Nothing wrong with what he did. The problem is his phone was like this, and I have to transcribe everything he said. The next edition coming up is when he talks about being ripped off. The first one, which is on our channel, he talks about losing 2 members to suicide, right? So, love the interviews. Thank you. Matthew, the exposure. Wow, what does that mean? And there's Joey, not Ozzy. Joey Tempest from Europe. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that band at all. Like at all. I know nothing about them. Except that big song. What are the underrated albums? Some of them I don't think some of you would know. Some of them are Canadian. My friend John Cody, highly recommend. Oh, good. My friend John Cody, look him up, C-O-D-Y. Brett Bourgeois' first couple of albums were amazing. Ever interviewed Saga? I always get asked that. No. Although I do have an interview with one of the guys downstairs, I'm not sure. And I don't know that much about Saga. Have you interviewed Herb Alexander of Primus? No. I like that Beaver song. That's a great tune. David Gogo. Yes, I've interviewed David Gogo. Klaatu coming up. Klaatu this week. Klaatu's coming up this week. We've got all 3 members. People are going, what? All separate though. I try not to interview people together because 2 people are going to be hanging around just hanging. If it's like Klaatu, for instance, I would never want to interview them together because when one person's talking, the other people are like bored silly. I wish Saga got more attention. Yeah, I bought, what was it called? On the Loose? Was it called On the Loose? I bought that album. Gary Sharon of Extreme, no. I almost got Nuno Battencourt, though, of Extreme. Because the girl I was dating at the time thought he was really dreamy. Buckethead, no. Makes me want to eat fried chicken, though. Hi, John. Jim, it's gone. Buckethead. Look and give me some... Winona, Big Brown... Yeah, Big Brown Beaver. Thank you. Thank you, Sonia. Worlds Apart, is that it? Okay. What was the name of the song? On the Loose? Was it On the Loose? Saga album, Worlds Apart. Very good album. Yeah, I had the album. There's some bands that get past, like I had Johnny A. On the Loose, yeah. The drummer for Bunny Carlos. I would love to interview Bunny Carlos. I wasn't the biggest Cheap Trick fan, but he's pretty honest about all the stuff that went down. I wish he was still in the band. Line him up also from Saga. Yeah. Bunny would be great. As you know, by the way, I don't go out of my way to interview drummers. Everyone's thinking, by God, you interview a lot of drummers. Excuse me. Yeah, but it's not like it just happens that way. I think unconsciously I go after drummers. Keltner is going to be, I hope, next. Like to get him. And Breaking Benjamin, no. I'm losing too many things. They're going up too bad. You have to realize I'm being lit here in front by a big picture window I've got right here because it makes me look better. But with that, I have problems checking out the screen, and I don't even know how much power I have. Danica, can you give me the power outlet? Danica, sweetheart, can you give me the power outlet? The power? Can I plug it in? Can you give it? No, give it to Daddy, please. Can you give it to Daddy? Thank you. Sometimes she doesn't understand what I'm saying. Power outlet. I don't want to lose my power. There. You think about the fix. One thing leads to another. I used to play that on the radio. I play One Republic on my Boston. No, but why do I have problems remembering his name? What was the original Boston drummer? Not Sib. Give it to me, folks. You guys are great. I talk to him now and then, every 3-4 weeks. He did a mini. What's the original drummer's? He played on Rock and Roll Band, and he was the original Boston drummer. What's his name? I'm embarrassed for not Sib. Yeah, Sib passed away. Who's the guy who was Sib? Greg Hawks of the Cars. I'd like to interview Greg. Yeah, he'd be interesting. No, not Doug Clifford. I'd like to. No, not Sib Hassian. Hey, Chaser. Yeah. Who's the drummer for Boston that gave us a mini concert? For who? The Boston drummer that gave us a private mini concert. What's wrong with my brain? Someone give me the name. I can't even look it up. Oh God, I can't. Can you look him up, Chase? Yeah. Tommy Shaw. No, I never interviewed Jim Pedrick. Jim Mastia. Thank you, Paul Forrest. It's so okay, Chase. Yes. Anyway, thank you, Andy. I have a mental block about his name. He got a hold of me one day out of nowhere, and he had seen me talk about him. That day I could remember his name. And, about bad breaks. I know he came back for Third Stage and